think I'd like to hop into this world for a little bit, though. Maybe another book. Maybe if I could actually hop into it. Maybe this is just me getting old. Hello, welcome to I Read This Book with Chris. I'm Chris. This is the book that I've read for this video. Waystation by Clifford D. Simak. And there are a lot of covers, and this might be the most boring one. We found a really cool one that we are trying to sell. Waystation by Clifford D. Simak. While discussing Waystation, I'll be drinking French Pearl. So what is Waystation? Waystation, the novel, it follows Enoch Wallace, who is a Civil War veteran who was chosen by some aliens to man a waystation, which is basically a stop on a galactic railroad. And while working for these aliens, living inside this waystation, he's barely aged, which makes him, he's an outsider to both worlds. He doesn't exist in either one. He's over 100 and something years old on Earth, living in the body of a 20-something. The world has changed drastically since the time of the Civil War, and he lives by himself, with his only human interactions being the mailman, or his neighbor, Lucy, who is deaf and mute, and some simulacrums of humans that he programmed using some strange alien technology. He doesn't really belong in the human world, but he also doesn't belong in the alien world. His only alien interaction is with his boss, Ulysses, and with the visitors who come through the Waystation. He's never left Earth, so in what senses does he really belong to this galactic federation? And he lives on the outside of both. And yet these two worlds collide. Things start falling apart in both worlds at once. There are rumors going around that this man has lived in the same home for over 100 years, which gets the CIA to investigate, and after a little bit of investigation, they decide he deserves to be surveilled 100% of the time until they can try to figure out what's going on. And he also gets in trouble with his neighbor because Lucy gets beaten by her father because she was trying to protect some animals and use some sort of magic that isn't really explained. And he beats her, and so she runs away, and Enoch protects her, allowing her into the Waystation, which no other human's ever been in. And it's impenetrable from the outside, so he's not able to get his daughter back out, and uses these same rumors that made the CIA watch him to bring a mob. To gather a mob to bring against him for making a deal with the devil. The CIA, while watching him, found a gravesite that he made for an alien who died in his Waystation. And he had known the species before and learned a little bit of their language, so he made a gravestone using alien language, which, when the CIA start messing around and they see a gravestone written in some strange language, of course they're going to go. And they dug up the body and they stole it and they took it back. And these aliens have some sort of weird telepathic ability, so they knew their body was stolen. And now the Waystation is at risk because Earth, if the bodies can get stolen, obviously is not a civilized enough planet in order for the Galactic Federation to join the Galactic Confederation, whatever it is. Because if you can't respect the dead, why would we think that you would respect other things as well? Basically, the idea. The talisman, which is a literal conduit, a connecting between man and God. It's just being in the presence of this talisman with the proper holder of the talisman brings peace to hearts, right? And the talisman appears on Earth. A fugitive alien stole it a few years back and is on the run. and just so happens to pop on Earth. He attacks Enoch and runs away. And in a gunfight, Enoch kills this alien who was shooting a laser at him. And Lucy, the deaf mute, gets her hands on the talisman. And right away, they know that she is the sensitive. She is the holder, the proper person to hold the talisman. They use Lucy and her talisman to calm down the mob that was coming after Enoch, trying to burn down his house. And since the CIA is there, and Enoch has met them, he says, hey, how about you bring her along to this conference? And as she's brought along to the conference, and basically ends a nuclear war, stops it from happening as well. The Galactic Federation needs the talisman because it makes its journey from planet to planet, calming down people's hearts. And it's been a while since it's been stolen, for a few years, and that hasn't been happening. So they take her. They in order to take her and to use her and the talisman, they need to allow Earth into the Federation. Enoch, who at the beginning of the book was not part of either world, and is trying to decide, as things fall apart, which side he's going to jump on. Is he going to go back to Earth and try to bring the little bit of knowledge he has to bring Earth to a better place? Is he going to leave Earth behind and join with these Galactic Federation? Is he going to allow that to happen? Which side is he going to pick? And he ends up not needing to pick either one because the two worlds come together. So that's the plot. That's what happens. But really, what is the story about? The story is about a man stuck between two worlds. How often in stories do you hear about people stuck between two worlds? Only this is a little more, head on. Our pastor recently talked about, in one of his sermons, there's the concept that Jesus preaches that man cannot have two masters. Either he loves one and hates the other, or he obeys one and despises the other, right? You can't have two masters, and you're stuck in between two worlds. Or it could be referencing the idea, he's a Civil War veteran. How many times, if you were fighting for the Civil War, how many times in your lifetime had the world changed? Obviously, the Civil War changed a lot. But then just following it through over the next 100 years that Enoch is there, there's electricity that changes the world. All these sorts of things just change, and if you're stuck in between, how do you know what side to choose? Or do you even have a choice? There's also the concept of the eternal adolescent. Sure, he's not an adolescent, he's in his 20s, or his body is. But he just froze, right? For 100 years, he didn't age. He's in a house that hasn't changed, this Waystation. His father built the house and it was transformed by the aliens into the Waystation, so he's lived in the same building his whole life. Not wanting to grow up, leave his parents' place. I mean, his parents are gone, but not wanting to leave that home. I also like it because maybe this is just me getting old, but I still do like fast-moving fiction. But it was okay taking its time. It didn't rush anything. The ending was a little rushed, I would say. But overall, the story just took its time, and you were just inside Enoch's head. There are a lot of stories, especially in science fiction or fantasy, where a new world is created, right? You read a book, you're brought into this world, and people want to make things into a series. And generally, I'm not the biggest fan. I do like series, but a lot of the times, book has an idea, it makes the idea. I don't know if I'd want a series in this world. I think I'd like to hop into this world for a little bit, though. Maybe another book. Maybe if I could actually hop into it. Maybe it's not even the world. Maybe it's just Enoch's life. Maybe that's the life that I want. If you find it, pick it up. Apparently this is one of his better novels. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I don't remember reading anything else of his. I'm sure I have some more of his on my shelf that I should read. But it was a good book. I'd give it a good read it. Thanks for watching.